What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about GRIFFAIN today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, okay, you guys? Here we are at about 8.7 cents now, with 7 hours and 13 minutes left in the day. And this thing, you guys, in case you don't know, GRIFFAIN was one of the lower market caps in the total crypto space that has outperformed the average coin in the markets, right? If we look at this thing from a low to a high, from April 9th to the high here, most cryptos in this time have seen 80% growth. You saw 519%. The average crypto right now is up 30 to 50% from their lows. You're up 259%. This thing has outperformed the average altcoin by large, right? It's at a large degree. It has outperformed the market, and I think it'll continue to do so. I think right now you're loading up for your next move, and it's going to be a fantastic move. Typically with these kind of moves, right? If you look at Elliot wave theory here, you get an impulsive wave. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's kind of how it is. Typically, wave 3 and wave 5 are the bigger waves, typically, right? Wave 1 is not the biggest wave. In this kind of case scenario, from the low to the high here, 188% versus this low to high here. Okay, wave 1 and wave 2, or sorry, wave 1 and wave 3 are pretty similar, right? Wave 1, the odd numbers, wave 1, wave 3, and wave 5 are your upward sloping waves. Waves 2 and wave 4, your even numbers, are your consolidation waves. I would expect, because these are so similar, wave 3 and wave 1 are so similar, I would expect that wave 5 is going to be bigger than both of them. Okay, that's my expectation, because normally, typically, wave 3 is either the biggest wave or wave 5 is the biggest wave, and this is actually pretty similar. Just because wave 3 is a little bit bigger here, 190% to 188%, it's still very similar. So I think this next wave is going to be really big. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to see prices that probably return all the way up to your all-time highs. It's going to be a phenomenal move. But I think you go a little bit lower first. My expectation would be that you come back down and you check support at prior resistance here at 7.5 cents. So if we're looking at this overall, from a high, all-time high, to your all-time low, very significant fib, by the way. You went just above your 0.5. You're at your 382 now. Ooh. You're holding support here. I think if you were to hold support here, you would have done it already, though, right? You would have done support. You would have found support and gone above. Now that you're here and you're grinding, right? Notice the first attempt, you bounced right off it, but now you're kind of grinding it over 3 days here. You didn't have a too positive of a reaction back here. So I do think you'll go a little bit lower. Maybe what this implies then is what kind of look you'll get is it's going to be, oh, come on now. It'll be a kind of fake out look where it's like you're in this consolidation phase here. You've got your flat base. You'll break out. And it'll assume like you're breaking out and you're going to go to zero, but you'll break out and then you'll just find support right there and it'll be a fake out. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Looking at GRIFFAIN here, I got, call it a hunch. I have a strong suspicion that we'll see prices. You're at 8.7 cents now. We'll see prices at 7.5 cents, if not 7.6 cents, somewhere around there. The lowest that I'd give us is probably what, like 6.9 cents, 69, right? Something like that. Let's see. What about a low to a high fib? Let's see if this agrees with anything. I want to pull that larger fib back up to talk about where we're going to go next to the upside. But yeah, looking at that 382 right there. Very common. Strong move. You bounce right off your 382 and then you run. I bet, in fact, I wonder if that's exactly what we did here. Let's see. Low to high here. Look at that. You just missed your 382. Very, very common behavior, very bullish behavior there. So if we were to do the same thing and find support like right at it, that makes sense to me. I don't think that we'd find support right here. I do think that we'd go high. If we were going to find support here, we already would have done it. Looking at the daily RSI, you got overbought, little double top here. You're below the 50. Probably come down and find support at the 40, which means you got a little bit lower to go. That's a little bit lower. 7.5 cents sounds about right. I am going to set up a buy order right after this video for GRIFFAIN. I'll probably sell my syrup. I actually already have sold my syrup, if I'm being honest. I did sell my syrup. Did I make a post on that on x.com? I don't think I did. I sold it last night, so it would have been from here, it would have been like 12 hours ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So something up around here, actually. I might have, let me see. Was it around? It had to have been around. It was a little bit before. It was actually a little bit more than 12 hours ago. So I would have sold around there. But I've got money on the side, and I'm looking to put it into something. GRIFFAIN is the one that I'm looking to get into. And I think that I'll put in that buy order at anything between about 7.8 cents to 7.5 cents. Even if it goes lower than 7.5 cents, I don't care. I'm not trying to catch the absolute low. In fact, I'll probably refine that buy order probably between 7.8 to 7.6. That way I at least get in. It's not a tremendous amount of money, but it's money that I want to get into this nonetheless. And I think that would make a lot of sense to go down there. Whenever you do find support here, the expectation would be that we do see a continuation in this move. And again, likely it would be bigger than either of these last two moves. So if we're looking at this here, if we're getting it, let's see. From a low point, come on now, low point to a high point, that was 172% right off the bat. Low point to a high point here, that was 197% right off the bat. I mean, overall, I guess it did go up to 188%. Let's just take that, right? This low to high, this low to high. Come on now. That would take us up to about 22 cents, 23 cents, something like that, right? Let's just look at our fibs and see if that agrees. Let's see if that aligns high to low here. I can't believe I forgot to tell people. I was going to bed, man. I forgot to tell people I sold syrup. I normally make posts on X, but I don't think I did, actually. Let's see. I'm kind of having a little brain fart here because I normally I said I bought more Toshi, but I didn't say that I sold syrup. That's what it was. I got distracted. Okay, anyways, and I did buy more Toshi last night too. But high to low here, the next expectation where you are would be the golden ratio, which in all fairness, that's exactly what these levels line up with, would be the golden ratio. But knowing what we know about Elliott wave theory, I would actually anticipate that we see a stronger wave here. We might go all the way up to the 786, 886, something at about 31.8 to 44 cents. You're at 8.7 cents now, right? Regardless of how it happens, what happens, I would expect that, and I'm going to delete all this stuff here because now that I know where we are relative to these growth phases, from a high to a low, my expectation would be at least that we go deep into the golden ratio, at least here. But genuinely, I think that we're going to hit the 786 or 886. And if I really had to be confident about any level, it'd probably be the 786. I think that's where we're going to go. We put a line right there. Actually, let me delete all these. Put a line right here at the 786, right there. Delete this here. Let's just see if any of these fib extensions line up with that. Let's go. Let's get a. Would I take this high to low? Maybe I take this high to low. Right in the money zone, right there, splitting the money zone. Looking at the zone itself, you're right at prior support and prior resistance here. It's somewhat significant. It makes a lot of sense. I don't know, man. I think that maybe by the end of this month of May, if not very, very early in June, like the first week of June, I would expect that we see this thing do a 260% growth from the current price, let alone if it goes down to where I think it's going to go. It's going to do like a 300% growth. If not there, perhaps we stop somewhere around here. It's a 200% growth. Perhaps we stop a little bit higher, but I do expect good things to come from GRIFFAIN. Whenever it comes to new all-time highs, and it will come to new all-time highs in a very short amount of time, by the end of June, early July, we're anticipating that we will see a finale finish to this move here. My expectation would be that we see something on the lines of the 1272 or higher. This is your minimum target. Now get ready. This is going to get crazy, okay? That's a 17, almost an 18x move, okay? That's the expectation by the end of June. And the reality is you might not stop there. You could actually stop higher. You could go, and I doubt that you go all the way up to your golden ratio. I doubt that you see something that's a 50x from the current price. I mean, overall, from the low on April 9th, that would provide a 198x. I don't think that we see that. It could. This is crypto. Crazy things can happen, you guys. But I think it's already crazy enough with the low to high being at a 62x overall. So one way or another, I think we're going to see some phenomenal growth. But here's the catch, okay? It's extremely common when you move up to stop at your 1272 at a minimum, if not higher. It's extremely common. It's not common to stop somewhere in between the 100 and the 1272. It's not common to stop in this area here. But sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. So even though the minimum target is a 17.8x from here, don't be sad if we stop somewhere in between $1.56 and 64 cents. Maybe we stop right there in between, right at $1, right? There's no fibs that suggest that we'd stop here, but it's psychological resistance, $1. It could be significant, and that's a lot of growth. That's an 11x from the current price. That would be from where I would buy, that'd be like a 13x. And then from the low overall, that's a 41x. That's more than enough of a move to be substantial for this to top off right there, okay? We do not have to go higher. But by the way of the fibs, logically I would think, $1.56 is more probable than stopping at $1. But, we'll see when we get there. Don't be sad, don't be scared, and don't be surprised if we do stop at $1. It's fine. This thing, I'm expecting it to stop at $1.56 or higher. Typically, I don't expect that you stop at the 1272, but let's be real. And a 17.8x from here is a lot. Calling for a 28x or a 27x with something like this that has a $87 million market cap, It might sound like a lot, but man, that's a low market cap right there, and you're getting good volume even in these boring times. I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw something fantastic like this. This could be one of those coins that from a low in April to its high overall does see something on the lines of a 100x. It really could be. We get those coins all the time. And typically with the 1 for 1 for, you don't stop there. You actually go a little bit above there. So it's very possible that we see a 30x from here, let alone if it goes lower. But this is why I want to buy this thing. This is why I want to speculate on it, is because even at a pessimistic, unusual stopping point in the speculation, making sense out of it, the best way, stopping at $1 psychologically, maybe you don't even stop at $1, you stop at 90 cents. Even at 90 cents, that's a 10.3x, which is phenomenal. Phenomenal growth in a very short amount of time. And that's on the pessimist. That's me trying to be pessimistic in a way that genuinely doesn't make too much sense other than the $1 psychological resistance, right? So this thing has a lot of potential. I think it's at a great price to buy. I think that anytime that you're down this much, man, I mean, if you're looking at your all-time high situation, right? If you're just to go back to your all-time highs, let alone if you see new all-time highs, which I expect you will, that's a 7x from here. You're at a really good risk to reward ratio right now. But here at 8.7 cents, I'm not completely wooed. I think it'll go a little bit lower. I think we will see prices below 7.6 cents. That's the expectation. I don't know what else to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I think we're going to go a little bit lower. Looking at the daily RSI, I would expect it happens by the end of this month. And then going into June, we'll probably start to recover. That's the expectation, okay? Probably moving down over the coming days, and then over the coming weeks, over the coming months, up, 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 up. Do your own research. Read the white paper, read the website, figure out if it's for you. The profile score is very low. They give them a low profile score when there's a lack of transparency. So just understand what you're investing in, right? I haven't invested in this yet. I've read a little bit about it, but I haven't read everything about it. So I'm going to do some more fundamental analysis before I make my purchase, as I think anybody should. You should always do fundamental analysis before you make your purchases. Be aware of what it is you're buying. But I think we got a winner here. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.